Welcome everyone to the first pop-up little yoga class that I'm going to do this summer. Today's class is going to be centered around breath and yin poses. So we're going to be doing things a little slow and really focusing on our breath and, tapping in, okay? So the first thing that I want to do is basically think about our intentions, set our space, and just really ground down, okay? So I'm personally starting sitting on I'm on my mat, but I'm also on a yoga bolster. You could be sitting in your bed, sitting on the ground, like on a mat, it doesn't matter, whatever's comfortable for you. And yeah, basically first, I just want you to, once you find your seat and get in a comfortable position, just take some clarifying deep breaths in and out, just to clear your mind. Let's do 2 more of those. In and out, and 1 more of those. So, if anybody is watching the recording and you don't know me, my name is Lyndsey and I am a yogi and yoga teacher. I did my 500 hours of training a few years ago, so yeah, I'm super excited to now bring this to my virtual space too. So the theme for today is coming home to the breath, as I said. That's why we're going to focus on slow, grounding breaths to really just ground down and just be. That's why the class is called Breathe and Be. So, yeah. So if you want to either share your intention in the chat or just think about it to yourself silently, either way, if you're here on the Zoom. Now, we're going to begin probably cross-legged. That's how I'm beginning, but you do what you want. And we're going to begin by stretching our arms and shoulders. So you might start with some shoulder rolls backwards and maybe forwards, shrugging up in a circle and then going backwards again. Cool. And then we're going to take one arm across our chest and just do a little arm stretch. Just a gentle stretch. Breathing with each stretch, probably a few rounds of breath because we're going to hold them for a few beats. Now you can change to the other arm, taking some deep, deep breaths. Now you can even make some circles with your wrists. Even if you want to not be cross-legged, stretch your legs out and do some circles with your ankles. Just get some movement in your body while you're still, mostly just still and seated. So yeah, stretching the ankles, stretching the wrists. Now, I would like us to take our hands in a prayer position at our heart. And just close our eyes if they're not already. And take a deep breath in. Thinking about your intention for this space. And with each exhale, releasing anything that doesn't serve you, anything that doesn't belong to you. Okay. So now, I would like you to take and ground your hands down onto the ground next to you, because I'm assuming you're seated, like me. And I want you to take your right hand, and I want you to raise it above you, and then I want you to kind of lean toward the left, so you're kind of getting a little side stretch in there, onto the right side. Breathe, and exhale, coming back to center with both your arms down. Your fingers or your palm might be grounded onto the ground next to you. With your next exhale, bring your left hand up into the air, stretching, and then leaning more over to the right. so that you get a little stretch in the left side. A couple breaths here. And on your next exhale, come back to center, putting your arms back at your side. And now we're going to play with some gentle movements of the neck and the awareness with the breath. So again, with your eyes closed, I want you to imagine you're going to be like drawing a line invisibly in the air, you know, around you. Your nose is like the tip of the pencil, okay? So that's what we're drawing with. So I want you to imagine right now it's in the middle of like the paper, but I want you to look up to the like diagonal left, so it's kind of like the top left corner of your paper, and I want you to just look up and then slowly go diagonal down the paper to the bottom right side. So you're getting a little neck stretch in the back there. And then after a couple breaths here, on your next inhale, come back to the center of your paper so your neck is just neutral again. And take another deep breath, exhaling. And we're going to do that, but like the opposite. So instead of the left, we're going to start looking up diagonal to the right, like the right corner, top corner of your paper. And then slowly, on an exhale, going down, drawing a line with your nose down diagonally to the paper to the left bottom corner. Feeling that little stretch in your neck. And on your next exhale, coming back to center, opening your eyes, or keeping them closed if you want to, it's up to you. But here, we're going to notice our natural breathing pattern and whatever our body's wanting to do in this moment. So for a few breaths, just let it be whatever it is in this moment. Don't try to control it, just let your body do what it wants to do for a few rounds of breath, whatever that means for you right now. Maybe you're still touching your fingertips on the mat or your palms, grounding yourself down, or maybe your hands are just in your lap, or maybe they're even, you know, by your heart. However it feels good for you. Just noticing your breath. And now I want to begin with one of our pranayama practices where we're going to control the breaths, okay? So we're doing a 3-part breath, and we're going to do like 3 to 5-ish rounds of it. So it starts from the belly, so when you're inhaling, you're going to first feel it in your belly, then it moves up to the ribs, and then the chest, so that's the 3-part. Belly first, ribs, and then chest, okay? So we're going to begin by taking our first deep breath, and I want you to move your hands to those 3 parts of your body. So first, put your hands on your belly. Inhale, move it to your ribs, and as you're continuing to inhale, move it to your chest. I can't inhale while I'm talking, but you get the point, right? So you're going to inhale, belly, ribs, chest, and hold it, and then exhale. So that was round 1. Now we're going to do a second round of that. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest, fully in, and exhaling. Maybe resting for a few seconds in between. And then when we're ready, we're going to do our third round of this 3-part breath, starting with the belly. Goes to the ribs, and then the chest, and exhaling when it feels natural to. Now we're going to do about 1 more round of this 3-part breath. So inhale, first you feel it in your belly, and then your ribs, and then your chest. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, and exhale. Exhale fully. My cat's moving my camera. Alright guys, now we're going to do a longer breathing practice now, and in Sanskrit it's called Nadi Shodhana, and in English it's called alternate nostril breathing. So some of you guys may be already familiar with this process, but basically I'm going to explain it first and then I'll kind of like show you it. But it's alternate nostril breathing. So really how it works is you're breathing in with one side of your nostrils while one is closed, and you're alternating. So how it would look like is, imagine we're starting with breathing in on the right. So you would take your kind of like a pinchy like fingers, right? So you want to have like your thumb on like one side and then the other two on the other side, or even just one, it doesn't matter. But you just have at least one finger hovering over each nostril, right? So when you're deciding to close a side, say we're closing the left side, we're breathing in on the right. So we inhale on the right, and then you would switch your fingers so now the other nostril is open, right? So you switch it, now the left side is open, and you exhale on the left. I hope that makes sense. So we inhaled on the right, and we are now exhaling on the left. Now when we're at the end of that breath, we're going to inhale on the left, okay? And then you switch your fingers again. Now you're exhaling on the right. So I'm going to do a few rounds of that, and then hopefully it starts to make sense if it's not already. And so yeah, we're going to start with our alternate nostril breathing. So again, we're going to start by breathing in on the right. So we're going to have whatever finger is closing the left, have that one closing it. We're going to inhale, switch fingers, exhale on the left. And then you're going to inhale on the left. Takes longer because one side is closed. But yeah, then you're going to exhale when you switch your fingers. Exhale on the right. Exhale, exhale. And now inhale on the right. Switch fingers, exhale on the left. And we're going to inhale on the left. Switch fingers, exhale on the right. Now inhale on the right. Switch fingers, exhale left. And now you're going to inhale left. Switch fingers, exhale right. And inhale right. Switch, exhale left. And you're going to continue this pattern at your own pace, just continuing with the alternate nostril. Wow, tongue twister there. Okay. Continue with the alternate nostril breathing, okay? Just for a couple more minutes. And I'm going to stop the cues so that we can really feel the meditative effects, okay? continue your next round of inhales and exhales with your alternating nostrils. And when you come to a complete stop after an exhale, go ahead and just drop your hand down into your lap to relax. And let your breath return to normal. Just noticing the stillness and how you feel. Noticing any difference between now and when we started, and how you feel, how your body feels, and what's going through your mind. You might have noticed your inhales and exhales getting longer with each round of breath as your body got more used to it. You might have also noticed that it took longer to inhale a full breath because you were only using one side of your nose. So just sitting with that feeling. And if your eyes are closed, you can keep them closed, or if you want to have them open, that's fine too. The next breathing technique we're going to do for a few minutes is called box breathing. So I want you to make sure your body's in a comfortable position that you can continue to sit in for the next couple minutes. If you need to adjust, go ahead and adjust. But to start with box breathing, it's easy. It's 4 in, hold for 4, 4 out, and hold for 4 at the bottom of the exhale. And then continue. So how it would look like is like so. You're going to inhale, 2, 3, 4, and then hold, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold the bottom, 2, 3, 4, and then you repeat that. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold the bottom, 2, 3, 4. Now I want you guys to continue that, counting at your own pace for each one for a few more minutes. Making sure to hold at the end of the exhale and at the end of the inhale at each round. And I want you to finish that round that you're on, and on the next exhale, hold the bottom for 4, and return to your normal breathing pattern. Pause and notice how you feel. Now, I want to integrate some breath with some simple movements. So first, from where you're seated, I want you can either have your hands on your knees or maybe on your heart, but wherever it feels good, just sway your body back and forth with your normal breathing pattern. We're going to do this for a few minutes. Sway your body, just not forcing any of your energy, just doing it how your body naturally flows, swaying back and forth, feeling the gentle movement in your spine, and maybe even in your neck. Allowing your body to move how it feels. Being there with your body through this natural, easy, swaying, flowing motion. Feeling your spine fluidly move. And on your next exhale, slowly coming to a stop with the swaying and grounding back down through your sit bones. Maybe adjusting your sit bones to feel even more supported by whatever you're sitting on. So make sure your back is straight, your neck is relaxed. And we're going to find a gentle raise of the arms, so maybe starting in a prayer pose, and then with an inhale, bring the arms up above your head, reaching to the ceiling, maybe stretching out your wrists and wiggling your fingers, maybe just clasping your fingers together. Holding it there for one more breath before gently, slowly bringing it down and planting your fingers and your palms next to you on the floor. And now we're going to close our eyes if they already aren't closed, and I want you to find some gentle circles with just your head, so only really your neck is moving. So one direction, move it in a full circle, just around, being and existing with your breath, and then switching the directions of the circle, going the opposite direction. Almost like imagining like your nose is a pencil again, but this time you're drawing a circle on the paper. And then we're going to switch directions again. You're going to go the first direction you did. So we're still doing our head circles. And switch again. One more circle and come to a stop. Now we're going to incorporate some more like traditional yoga poses into our flow. So I'm sitting on a bolster right now. I'm just going to move it out of the way. And I want you guys to come to your hands and knees, like tabletop pose. So you're on your hands and knees, Let me get this microphone over here. Okay, so on your hands and knees, and I want you to find the gentle grounding of your hands on your yoga mat or on your carpet or floor, whatever you're on. Hopefully it's comfy enough for you to do this, but yeah, find your center of your palm and have the weight distribution evenly between your hands. Have a slight bend in your elbows, and then your knees are gently resting on the floor too, and your back is in a straight line like a tabletop. Take some breaths in this position. And now we're going to find some gentle cat-cow poses. So first we're going to do the cow. So how it works is you're going to inhale and you're going to find an how would you say it? Like the opposite of an arch in your back. So you want to like bring your chest forward, look forward and up with the inhale, and then when you exhale is when we're going to find the cat, which is the arched back like an open umbrella. So you bring your back into an arch like a cat on the exhale. So with the inhale we do the cow, and I'm sorry that my camera work is not that good right now, so you probably can't even see the pose that good, but I'm assuming you all have done yoga before. You're not very super beginners, so you know what a cat-cow is. So you're inhaling on the cow and exhaling on the cat. Finding that gentle movement in your spine and feeling your breath flowing with each movement. Keeping slight bend in your elbows, and you guys will continue with these cat-cows for a few more rounds of breath. Now, from where you're at, if you're wanting to get a little bit more of a movement going in this flow, you can take down dog now. So how you would do that, don't do it if you're not going to do it, but just for a second I'm going to explain it. So you would just, onto your toes, bring your knees up, bring your bum up into the air, and yeah, down dog. But that's only if you really want to. If you want to keep it super gentle, go straight into child's pose. For the down dog folks, I will cue you when it's time for you to go into child's pose. For my more gentle, full yin girlies, if you have glasses, you can go ahead and take them off. I have to. So, I want you to find a wide leg child's pose when you do find your child's pose. So if you're on your mat, your knees will be going towards the edges of the mat. And when you go down for child's pose, gently bring your elbows down, bring your body down, and you can rest your forehead on the ground. Now, if that doesn't feel good to you, you can always stay up, like on your elbows or on your hands. Now, let me show you guys this. Let me move this. Okay, so see, I'm coming down, and then I'm resting my head on the ground. Like I said, I'm sure most of you have practiced yoga before, so. Now, if you're in down dog, you can do all the fancy stuff you want to do, like bringing your knees forward and bringing it back up and doing three-legged dog and all of that. Go off, go crazy. But for my for my people that are already in child's pose, I want you to just sit there and breathe. Maybe letting out a sigh with a noise if that feels good for you. Every exhale is an invitation to let out a sigh with a noise. It feels good, trust me. So, for my down dog people, go ahead and transition into back into tabletop and then into child's pose if you haven't already. And now we're all together in a wide-legged child's pose, bringing our heads to the floor if that feels good. And we're feeling this stretch in our hips And if you want to feel more stretch even in your shoulders, you can walk if you're not up on your elbows. You can walk your fingers out more. You'll feel it in your upper back. So yeah, you'll feel it in the hips. If you walk your fingers even more forward, you'll feel it in the upper back. And since this is a yin class, we're holding it for a few more rounds of breath. And on your next exhale, I want you to slowly bring your arms back toward you, coming up and out of your child's pose. And coming back to a seated position. Slowly, don't rush yourself. Coming back to sitting on your bum, and I want you to sit lengthwise on your mat so that we can do a little forward fold action, okay? So, find your legs straight out in front of you. And you're going to, on your inhale, you're going to bring your arms up like we did earlier when we were seated normal. And instead of just holding it there, you're going to lean forward and try to touch your toes or your shins or your knees or wherever feels good for you. Okay? So hold that stretch, that leg stretch. You'll feel it. Continuing to breathe deeply. And slowly, slowly coming back to a seated position, maybe rolling out the shoulders in backward circles, and then rolling them forward a little bit. And rolling them back again, finding a straight back. And now I want you to take your straight legs, and instead of having them straight out in front of you, I want you to make them like a little butterfly. So your feet are touching and your legs are like little butterfly wings. So the closer you bring your feet toward like your sacral area or your root area, the more stretch you will feel. So if you want more of a gentle butterfly, just have it more out. If you want a more extreme stretch, bring it more toward you and you'll feel it. You'll feel what I mean. And so with that butterfly, I want you to like flap the butterfly's wings, which I'm sure some of you already are because it just feels good to do that. So flap the butterfly wings, feeling that stretch and breathing in and out. And then stopping the flapping and just feeling that stretch. Maybe even leaning forward to feel more of a stretch. And now coming back up if you were leaning forward, and just gently coming back to a crisscross applesauce seated position. We're going to find a seated twist. So how we're going to do that is we're going to, okay, let's say lift your right hand up into the air, set it on your left knee, okay? And then you're going to take your left hand and you're going to set it behind you, okay? And then that's going to bring your stretch. You're going to look over your left shoulder. Breathing here for a few rounds of breath. And then slowly untwisting, coming back to center, and taking a breath here. Exhale. And now inhale. Now you're bringing your left arm up into the air on the inhale. Exhale and put it on your right knee. Inhale. Bring your right hand behind you. Set it behind you. Finding your twist, looking over your right shoulder. And breathing for a few rounds here. And on the exhale, untwisting and coming back to center, finding your hands on your knees. And we're going to find a straight back again. Gentle tuck of the chin where the neck is just relaxed. Exhale with a sigh if you would like. Now I'm going to take you into some poses that will lead us into Shavasana. So wherever you are, we're going to lean back onto our mat, laying back. Let me bring this microphone down so y'all can hear me. We're going to lay back, and you're going to have your feet on the ground, so your knees are like bent, okay? And you're going to take your left knee, your left foot into the air, and then you're going to rest that ankle onto your left knee. Wait, did I just say that wrong? Your right knee, I'm sorry. Take your right leg, put in your right ankle onto your left knee, okay? For like, what do they call this? Let me move my camera. Y'all can't even see me. I'm so sorry, y'all. Okay. So you're putting your right ankle on your left knee, and then you're going to bring the whole leg up, and you feel the stretch here in your leg. Okay, so hopefully that's a nice visual. I'm so sorry, my brain is blank. I can't remember the name of this pose. But yeah, it's reclined, whatever this pose is. So we're doing it on the right side first, taking a few more breaths here. And then on your exhale, you can put your legs down, put that leg down. We're going to do that on the opposite side. So now you're bringing your right leg, your foot is planted on the ground. Your left foot, you're going to bring it up, and you're going to have your ankle resting on your right knee, okay? Then you're going to bring your right leg up so that you feel that stretch in your left leg. So few more breaths here. Not the free foot content for the recording. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm so sorry if that's not your sense of humor. But anyways, after your next exhale here, you're gonna bring your feet down. And let me bring this over a little. Okay, so now our feet are still planted on the ground. And we're going to slowly bring our legs straight so that we can lay for Shavasana. So bring your legs straight out, and your hands will be by your side. And if that doesn't feel good for your back, you can totally keep your legs bent and your feet planted on the ground like they were. That's totally fine too. But we're going to do Shavasana for a few minutes, continuing to deeply breathe. while laying in this Shavasana or corpse pose, this is when your body soaks in all of the goodness that you just did for it. If I was there in person, I would give you guys Shavasana assists and it would feel amazing, but unfortunately we are virtual right now. But if you'd like to give yourself a little assist of your own, you can try to find a little tuck of the tailbone and then re-stretch your legs back out, and that seems to do the trick for me. Finds a nice little stretch in my low back that normally doesn't exist there. It brings some space to that area. Staying anchored in your breath. Letting your body relax even more. Letting go of any tension left over in your body. Few more rounds of breath in corpse pose. Now, as you lay here, you can wiggle your fingers and make some circles with your wrists. Move your toes and your ankles. Maybe bend your knees again. Planting your feet on the ground and just moving your body any way it needs to come out of this pose. Something that always feels nice for me is to hug my knees in to my chest after Shavasana, kind of do a little roll back and forth. I forget what they call this too. Wow, my brain's going blank, y'all. But yeah, this feels good on my back after Shavasana every time. Planting my feet on the ground and rolling over to one side. Resting my head on my arm. And now we're all going to slowly, from this side, come up. Okay, so now from this seated position, I'd like us to just slowly close our eyes again, finding your hands onto your knees, maybe doing a little mudra if you would like, finding your thumbs onto your index fingers and just resting that on your knees, with your eyes closed, to ground down and breathe in. And reflect on everything you just did for your body and your mind. And now, to end our practice, I would like to close with a few ohms. So how we start is we say ah, and then oh, and then So okay? So I'm going to lead these 3 ohms, and you can either keep your hands in this little mudra on your knees, or you can have it in a prayer position by your heart. On your inhale, it'll be normal, and then on your exhale, instead of exhaling the breath out, you'll exhale on the sound of Om, okay? So we're gonna inhale, exhale on Om. Taking a little breath in between, and then exhaling, inhaling. Taking a little breath in between. Exhale, inhale one last time. Thanking yourself for showing up today for you. And thanking your body for being able to do all of this for you. And then slowly blinking open your eyes, coming back into your space.